Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Ravioba. Today we have a very important and special guest in the house. Yes, she is Nkem. Nkem is a businesswoman and the founder of a charity called Pillar of Hope. Today's topic is actually marriage and career. We all know when we are talking about marriage and career, people always believe that it doesn't go together. It's either you focus on your marriage or you focus on your career. But you can balance it. It just depends on the kind of person you marry or you as a person, how you balance both of them. Nkem, can you tell us how you do it? Because Nkem she seems to be striving so much into this, both marriage and career, and everything is just flowing. Tell us, how are you doing it? You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. This is a special honor to be around you guys today. The most important thing about career and marriage, in the first instance, think about it. You have that choice. Who is the man that I'm going to marry? What is that? Are you a career person? Because if you're a career person, you will know right from the time you're young.
Yes.
And that will impact on the person that you're going to marry.
Yes.
And marriage, of course, we all know. As a woman, in your house, you have all the liberty in the world. Whatever you do, your people, your parents, your family will not complain. But when the role is changing, that is, you get from a single lady now to a married woman, you will have it in the back of your mind that it's not going to be the same. That is one key thing that you will have in mind. Try you will kind of understand that this is the career changing now. As the career is changing, you will now change some of your attitude, some of your characters. And with marriage and career, you must have to. I always use a rhino to use a rhino. If you know rhino, an animal is quite focused. I have been a very focused person from tender age, and I think that was one of the things that helped me in life. And when I made my choice of the guy that I married, my husband, my treasure, I put that into consideration. And on the early part of our relationship, I do made him to understand that I'm quite a career lady. I like education, I like business. Call me a hustler.
That's why I said authenticity is very important. You know, when you meet your partner, it's always being a partner, boyfriend before marriage. And I think a lot of the time we don't talk about our goals and what we intend to achieve. Or you can see some of the red flags. A man can be telling you that if I marry you, you will not walk home. But sometimes some women will just, and just say, he's joking. By the time I get married, that's not going to happen. But this is where the problem comes in. That choice aspect you talk about, I think, is very important to know the kind of person you're choosing to marry.
And the kind of at that early age or early stage of that relationship, it is very important you're being transparent on what the kind of personality you have. If you know this, that will help in that relationship. If you're quite an open person to each other, and I don't mean open to the world, but open to each other, that will help to mold and shape that relationship. Going towards where it's going. Personally, I love business. I love education. And sometimes, honestly speaking, sometimes I will sit back to ask myself, how am I doing it? I don't know. But because I love doing this, the drive, and having a supportive husband made it quite, it looks very easy. But it's not easy if you don't have the right man behind you. So,
and I think because I know Nkem as a person, not just coming on this show, what I also observe that you do, or I just observe, is setting boundaries, work-life boundaries, because I think that is where sometimes problems start to come into people's home. Even if your husband wants to support you, he wants to allow you to go and work, but at the end of the day, you put work over everything. And some of our bosses would think that they own our life. They can just call you and say, work, you should put work over everything, because every man for themselves. I think that is another thing I want you to tell people, how you put that work-life boundaries, you set that boundaries, and why is that important?
Setting boundaries in everything you're doing, both your relationship, both the way you manage your home. I think that it tells a lot. My husband, we were, when we were back home, we always share office together. We manage our business together, and in the office, he was the director and I was the manager. And that's a big thing. When we were in the office, nobody, you will not even know that we are husband and wife. I will respect him, yes. I will respect him as the director in the office and take whatever instruction.
And I can relate to that, because that's how I am working with my husband. So I understand that.
And people will now ask, how do you do this? In the office, you just behave as if. I said, yes, that is creating and setting the boundary you need for you to prosper and for the business or whatever you're doing to progress.
Exactly.
If you don't do that, honestly, you will find yourself in a mess.
100%. When people come into my office and I'm directing them to my husband's office, I will never say, go to my husband. I will just say, go to Dr. Obaris. We never refer to each other as husband or my wife, go to my wife or go to my husband. We just keep it professional. So I understand that. Those are the boundaries that, yes, you try to emphasize.
Yes, setting boundaries is really, really important. And again, once we come back home, that's it again. That's family life. And we very, very switch on. Everything about whatever we're doing goes there. Before we round up in the office, we highlight what we have done. Is there anything we want to discuss before we get home? Sometimes we don't really have the opportunity to do that. But we will really highlight, just in our daily life now, you just say, brief. You just do the brief of the day. And we do that a lot. And I think it does help us to set that boundary as office and then boundary at home. If you will not do that, you will not be able to focus on the children.
Yes. So that was another thing I was going to talk about, parenting stress, because when you are married, you are juggling both marriage and career, trying to balance everything, then parenting will come into the picture, because that's another thing as well. Your children need your attention, they need you there. How do you cope with all that? Because I know it's not easy. I've been on that journey. So
parenting's stress. Do you know, till tomorrow, sometimes I will sit down to ask myself, did I even experience that? Probably I did, but because it was so much going on, step this, step that, I may not at that particular time think about it or feel about it. I'm this kind of person that once my body touch bed, that's it. I will just sleep off. And talking about stress, I know when my body will say no. I know when my body...
It's also about where that time where your kids were complaining that you were not present, or they need their mother and you are not there. Balancing that aspect as well.
Okay, that aspect of life.
Yes.
I think in my own, I did discuss a lot with my children. I do tell them my programs for the day.
Okay.
And I will always explain to them, this is when I'm coming home, and I kind of engage them.
Yes.
When I come home,
so that they understand.
Yes.
And I think that works very well for me as well.
Yes.
My kids used to tell me, when are you starting placement? When are you finishing placement? So they know that in the next couple of 6 weeks, they probably will not see me, like 3 or 4 days a week. I will not be around. I just come back. So once that is over, so it's good. It's open communication. Get your kids involved so that they know what you're doing. They understand the nature of your job, your career. I think that helps a lot.
And honestly speaking, any day I did not have that opportunity of discussing with them before leaving the house.
Yeah.
The moment I stop, I will just hit the family platform to say, guys, I'm really, really sorry. It was just a hectic morning. I didn't want to come and wake you up. This is what we are doing for the day. And because of the way things or the way my family has been, me, like almost everybody in the family, you will always see somebody that shares a career with you.
Yeah.
So it does help the stress away.
Yes.
So once you come back, if you had a hectic day in the office, you talk about it, and then a majority of the time, those things you think, oh my God, is too much. The way they will be laughing at you, you now say, this is not even thing to stress about.
True. Wow, that's amazing. I think one other aspect I think people find difficult in balancing marriage and career is financial stress. Sometimes when the wife is earning more than the husband, you understand, and I think it's not like the whoever is the man of the house will change, because I think that's where sometimes issues comes into place. Women think that when they are earning more than their husband, now the man have to now be the wife, and the wife has to be the husband. But nobody can actually change your gender role. But it's all about supporting one another. Yes,
I agree with you. But there's one important thing I need to emphasize on that, because the problems or the marriages that have a little bit of crack, the problem is always finance.
Yeah.
If we, the women, know that when you love a person, you protect that, I don't think it will be a problem.
Yes.
When you know that you are the one financially more powerful than the other, your partner, I think it is easy to handle that. You see that you now go by how much are you going to contribute for the ones some people do that. But in my own family, I think we just do what we can do.
Yes. It's not, I think finance is a big thing in marriage. And for us, when both of you are having the same goals, the same plan, it's very easy to navigate finances and all that. My husband and I, we hardly sit down and talk about what do you spend. But he will update me our financial status of the company, and even when I'm not listening, he'll be telling me how much is in the account and this. I'm like, okay. For me, as long as I know there's a little to spend, that's all I need to know. But finance is very important for people to discuss and know. But if you're not doing the same work, like my husband and I, we do the same job, we're working together, and it's one source of income. But if you're working differently, I think that's when both of you have to be open and talk about contribution, who is contributing what, who is putting in what, and as long as you all agree, it's fine.
Yeah, I think in my own situation, there was a time we were both social workers.
Yeah.
So we know what's coming.
Yeah.
So we know what's coming in, and we know how we manage ourselves.
Yeah.
So, and me with my crazy career nature. Before you know what was happening, I've just left that area, jump into another thing. So, but when you're looking at it, nursing, if you look at nursing and social workers, you see that in quotes, social workers earn more than nurses. But at the same time, there's something else that made the nurses earn more technically, but with
potential of earning more.
With nurses. So I think I always discuss this is what I have got this month, and we are already in the family, we are project oriented family,
right?
So we know what is coming in, and we know how to spend it.
That's what I mean by both of you. You know what you want to invest in. I think the conflict come in when one is focusing on, no, we have to do it this way. This one saying we have to do it this way, and what is your priority is not the other one's priority, and then problem starts kicking in. Okay, finally, before we just go, tell us, how do you maintain yourself looking this beautiful all the time? This one looks like sweet 16 all the time. Tell us the secret.
Oh my gosh. Do I really have a secret?
Yes, there's always a secret. There's always
I would
your
just
personal secret.
yeah. My personal secret is eating healthy. I don't diet. Let me just emphasize on this.
Are you throwing shade?
Yeah.
Yes. Because I talk about diet,
I don't diet, but I eat healthy. I may decide, okay, this week it might be fruit and veg, and I'm very, very disciplined. When I said I'm not eating this, I won't eat it.
Yes.
So I will stick on that, and then I don't know, things does happen.
I know you do a lot of fitness. She does a lot of exercise. She's the one that organizes our every Saturday workout. You guys know, the ones who are following me on Facebook, you know. Yes.
So with again the charity, I think the charity pillar of hope is a health charity.
Yes.
I can't be preaching. I can't be telling people we got to look healthy and then I'll be messing up with my body.
You have to be the role model,
so
of course. Yes.
It won't work out and they'll be looking at me, is she serious? So I am serious and I want us to go to this journey together and then come out together. Thank you everyone and thank you for giving me the
Thank you so much. I'm following your footsteps. Guys, thank you so much. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section and we'll see you again soon. Bye. She will still come back on the show.
I will always be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.